Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. All right, we are back to Bayou Time. Welcome back. And we have a very distinguished guest here, and Dr. Strickland, Dr. Kristine Strickland from Fletcher. She's the chancellor at Fletcher, and she comes on board all these awards. I was trying to read as I was announcing, she was at the SCIA banquet. You were awarded the Tillman S. Steve Outstanding Member Award, and then you received the 2024 Difference Maker Award at the Destination High Performance Higher Education Leadership Conference, and you're on a roll.
Apparently, it was a very good week. It was a very good week.
Yeah, let me tell you. But we did a one-on-one way back,
did.
And your energy level, let me just say, is second to none. You're still keeping that energy. We did the one-on-one a few years back.
Yeah.
You still have the energy. You're still involved in the chamber. You're still involved in a lot of different things. And just for the audience, how do you keep doing it?
Well, I think some of it is I love what I do. And I love being a part of this community. And I'm excited about where it's going. And I just am excited to be a part of that and to bring some energy and enthusiasm and just to be part of helping uplift the community and moving it forward. That's really, it's something I've been passionate about my whole life. I've always been really passionate about volunteering. Yeah. And this gives me a platform to do that. So it's amazing.
Fletcher is growing.
Yes.
And I got to be honest, probably many people years ago went, what, community college? And now they're going, yeah, a community college. The whole image has changed. What do you attribute that to? Yeah,
very much so. The image has changed. I think it's a lot of different things. I think it's an appreciation for the work that's being done. I think there's a greater awareness of what's possible at a community college in terms of associate's degrees. We have so many programs where you can get a great job making a family sustaining wage, a living wage, and just in school for 2 years, our tuition and fees is very, very low. So I think people see a lot of value in what we offer in terms of your money spent for what you get out of it. And so, and then there's also just a huge shift with, I think, this generation in interest in being in the craft skills, the skilled trades, the electricians and the welders and the plumbers and all of those things. They have a lot of honor, I think, being restored. And with that, I think people are very interested. And we've been very fortunate. This year alone, we've served over 6,600 people in the community.
Wow, yeah. That's a big number.
It is.
And you mentioned plumbers and electricians and people of that nature. I remember one summer my dad said, did you find a job yet? I said, I'm getting close. I got some applications out. I was still in high school. He said, well, I got you a job. You're going to be Mr. Leroy Hebert's plumber's helper for the summer. I'm thinking to myself, Mr. Leroy's good friends with the family. Piece of cake. I still know how to plumb today, but let me tell you,
well, that's a good skill to have.
One of the hardest jobs I've ever been to. And, we don't give those kind of jobs enough credit. Everybody's going to school. What are you going into? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a teacher. But to be a plumber, to be an electrician, to be somebody technical is very, very important, because who do all the doctors call and the lawyers call when something goes wrong?
Absolutely.
Technical-minded people. Yep. There's a place for them, and there's a big place.
Absolutely. And what a lot of people I don't think realize, too, is that our many of our economies, many of our communities are built on small businesses. And those small businesses are the individuals who are your HVAC technicians, your air conditioning technicians, maybe your electricians who start out maybe in a trade and they start working for someone, but then they grow into starting their own business. And those are really where our communities thrive, is in these individuals. But you're right. I mean, how many of us in South Louisiana want to go without air conditioning?
Especially now.
Exactly. Those HVAC students, they're going to have a job probably for life.
And they always say if you own a boat, the two most important people in your life are your doctor and a mechanic.
Yep.
And they say you should have the mechanic close by when you're on a boat.
Absolutely.
For obvious reasons. But y'all have helped bring the importance and given, I guess, prestige to people who didn't always get prestige. You mentioned HVAC and plumbers and electricians and people of all statures, but I think in a way it helps them hold their head a little higher in the community, knowing that finally they're getting the recognition that they deserve, and rightly so. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, it goes back to my statement about honor in every career pathway, right? We need doctors and lawyers and teachers, but we also need those other individuals and those other career opportunities for students. And they're vital, again, to our communities. And so having a sense of pride in that. And I know how hard our students work. And they work just as hard, if not harder, in some instances. Our students have a lot they have to overcome. Many of our students, our average age, I think, is 28 years old. A lot of our students are raising families at the same time holding down a full-time job and going to school. And so it's tough, you know, and so to say to them, we see you and we are proud of you and we're proud of what you're going to do in our communities, because over 90% of our students will stay right here in this community where they'll continue to live and work and raise a family. And so to say to them, that's important work, and we appreciate that. And I think that they now see that.
And we appreciate you staying here and helping boost our economy.
Absolutely.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with the award winner. She's winning all these awards, and we know why. We'll be right back.
Weights and Downer. You or someone you know has lost the ability to earn a living because someone put the company interest before their well-being. In times like these, there's one firm who has handled hundreds of catastrophic and lost earning cases. Before you settle fast with a company's attorney, give Weights and Downer a call. 985-876-0870. Weights and Downer. Let us fight for your rights.
All right, we're back with Dr. Kristine Strickland. She is the chancellor at Fletcher Technical Community College. 25 years now.
Yep.
Where's the big party going to be? We're going to have a big party, or is it going to be subtle?
Very subtle. Very subtle. We're really excited to be able to acknowledge 25 years ago, June 25th, so tomorrow, Fletcher Technical Community College has its official name. So we had multiple names. Many of us remember, regional trade school, vocational school, but on this date, we became L.E. Fletcher Technical Community College. Wow. So we want to celebrate that. And as a part of that celebration, we want to try to help raise some funds for our students.
Yeah, and Mr. Luther Fletcher grew up he didn't grow up. I grew up across the street from him.
Okay.
Because he was a teacher and a principal, and of course his dad was the famous Mr. Fletcher, and I met him several times. So it's a good name on the school and rightly deserved. But right now y'all having fall enrollment.
We sure are. You can enroll now for the fall semester. We are doing orientations and scheduling classes. Want everybody to consider come out, be a Fletcher Falcon. We have 8-week sessions, so it doesn't take a whole lot of your time, but you can get started on your new career.
Fletcher Falcon.
Yes.
When did the mascot come in?
That's a good question. I believe that the students back sometime in the early 2000s, I think it was, picked their mascot. And the Falcon it was.
You had to pick Falcons. Being a
Yeah,
Saints
I
fan,
know.
that's all right. Maybe we could put a good connotation on a Falcon.
There you go. There you go.
All right. So always, I know what y'all strive for all the time is to get better. And by getting better, of course, you always have to go through accreditation. And I know this well because when I went to LSU in journalism, they had lost their accreditation in journalism.
Wow.
So I switched to Nichols, probably one of the best moves I ever made. They had a great journalism department. But accreditation is a big deal.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Yeah. It's the stamp of quality and excellence for an institution. And so the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, the Commission on Colleges, is the group in really the southern part of the United States who looks at not just community colleges, but universities too. So Nichols, LSU, all those institutions you mentioned, they are SAC-COC accredited is what we call that. But it is a peer review process where people come in and they evaluate everything we do at the institution, everything from enrollment to our curriculum to our faculty who teach and whether or not they are qualified to teach their subject matter, all the way up to the leadership.
Yeah.
And when they leave, they give this sort of stamp of quality, this mark of quality. And I'm especially proud of our team. We actually went through the process, the last part of the process, with 0 recommendations, and that's very rare.
0.
Yeah, 0. So many times institutions will have maybe a recommendation or two that they have to respond to, and we did not have any. So
That's hard because sometimes people in that particular realm just want to have 1 or 2 just so they could justify their job.
maybe.
0.
Maybe. No, we strive for excellence at Fletcher. So we were very, very excited to have received that. And the other thing that's really important for our students is that it indicates, too, that our courses are transferable to other institutions that bear that same accreditation.
That's important.
Really, really important.
Let me ask you, y'all are trying to raise a few funds or give back to Fletcher
We are.
Day?
We
How's
are.
that work?
So tomorrow, it's very, very simple. You can go to our website, which is www.fletcher.edu, and you'll see the Fletcher Give Day logo there. You click on it. We're only asking for $25. So we want to make it accessible to everybody to participate and be a part of philanthropy and a part of giving to our institution. The funds will all go back to our students, and it helps them to overcome some of the hurdles. You know, I mentioned earlier, we have students who maybe have childcare, some of them transportation issues. And it's funds that when a student walks in and says, hey, I got a flat tire today and I don't know where I'm going to get the money to fix it. We'll have a pot of money that they'll be able to access so that we can keep them on the right track and keep them continuing to pursue that new career.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've done so much. What's the future hold? What's your goal? Or what's your bucket list for Fletcher in the next 10 years?
Oh, my goodness. It's a big bucket. There is still so much that I think we hope to accomplish. New programs. I think a lot of it is going to be reworking some of our programs to make sure that they reflect the technology of today. We have new buildings coming online. We will do a grand opening this summer. For our new workforce and nursing building. And we will also break ground on a new precision agriculture and advanced manufacturing building on the campus. So the campus will be growing. I think you'll see a lot of new programs added. Ultimately, truly my goal in the next 5 years is to serve over 10,000 individuals in this community. So we believe that we can achieve that number, and we're really excited about the future and striving for that continued excellence and growth.
Those numbers are really big. Are you going to have like a basketball team and a football team eventually? Y'all are growing.
We are growing. I don't know about athletics because, you know, as I mentioned, our students are not necessarily always the traditional age.
College, yeah.
That's right. But I'll tell you, one of the new student organizations we're starting is a support group for students who have children.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Providing them with that extra support of how to balance all of that. But no, I think you'll see continued growth in the campus, continued growth in our outreach to the community, programs. I think the sky's the limit.
Dr. Strickland, congratulations on your awards. Congratulations on the growth of Fletcher. And
thank you.
You have really been an asset to our community. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's truly a joy, and it's an honor. I'm very, very humbled by the awards and the recognition, especially from our community. That means just a tremendous amount to me. And thanks for having me on today.
Oh, anytime. All right, Dr. Strickland, big award winner. Well, we're glad to have her here in the area. We'll take a short break. We have a lot more here on Bayou Time, a lot more programming. Don't go away.
Jack Bay down to Point Ocean, Thibodeau to Grand Caillou, HTV's part of you. Bayou Black down through Dulac, Southland Mall to City Hall, we'll bring the news to you. Raceland, St. Charles, Bayou Blue, Morgan City and Assumption too, where sugar cane is grown. So much to see on HTV. Stick with us 'cause we're your home.